We're going back to the English.
Do the stinky stuff.
And do the sinky stuff.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Juice.
Yay!
It's been almost a whole year where we've been absent, and things have certainly changed. Like, it's not even the same place we're sitting.
Nope.
Again.
We died and went to hell. So
and you worked out for a whole year, and
thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
and now you're just this buff fitness character, unrecognizable.
Like, it's almost an insult calling me like a gym bro, but also
you are a gym bro.
Calling me a gym bro for a long time now.
He's a freaking gym bro.
Yeah. The last time you guys saw me, I was in. I think you said I was like in winter clothes and just packed in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, now I was the skinny one.
Yeah.
Now I'm the fat one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys again. Thank you so much for all the ones who's been still watching our videos, who's just been waiting for us to return, and we actually gained subscribers this whole year.
Yeah. It's
kind of weird.
We've done everything we can to make content and scare you guys away.
Yeah.
You still what's wrong with you? Have you tried therapy?
What is happening?
This is not good content.
Anyways, we were back with the first video of the year since our return. It was the behind the scenes material for Metalvation, which is the new rock and metal festival that is our initiative.
Do you have any idea how surprised I was? Well, I was just on my own Facebook site. I'm part of the Juice Facebook thing. I was just like, hey, we came out with a new video. Go check it out. I'm like, we did?
We did?
Wait, what? Then you just tagged me. Look, we made this video.
This is
I had no idea.
This is how it has always worked.
Yeah.
Like, I sit at 3 a.m. in my room like this, and I just got an idea. I edited stuff, and I'm not really sending it your way.
Yeah. Like, I don't even get to like approve or anything.
Just
sure.
Put it out there, and like, we're back. Live with it.
Yeah, I'm always worried. That's why I'm not sleeping at night, because you do stuff like that.
But I'm so thankful that you're back. You're here, and you're up for doing this again, and you're up to actually reviewing weird music out there.
Thank you. Please let me and my kids go after this.
But we were back with Metalvation. It's the initiative that Beneath the Music has done together with Musikhuset Posten, which is one of the biggest venues here in Denmark. And the Juice Music Show is actually the owner of Metalvation. It's kind of weird. We are like the Juice Music Show is. We came up with the initiative for Metalvation. But Beneath the Music...
I like your very, like libertarian way of using the word we. I'm so happy. Thank you. You're including me. I'm just sitting here spoiling everything he's doing by being a jackass. And he's just like, we did all this work.
We did all the work.
He did all that work. So you basically came up with Metalvation, and you wanted to have like kind of rock metal kind of show going on, because like
it's more like a showcase.
Yeah, a showcase, because in Odense and Fyn we are struggling a bit with our with the metal scene, maybe musical culture for underground bands. So you wanted to like provide some kind of stage where you can people can come out and we can share some cool music and get some fans or some new listeners in and share the joy and the audience, I guess too.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like. Ever since, like, there was an event here in Denmark a few months ago, where one of the places where rock and metal bands were hanging out, they got a huge blow to the face and got shut down. So there weren't really any initiative for rock and metal artists anywhere to grow the career, and so we came up during a podcast talking about how it would be fun to create an initiative.
Yeah, and we just kind of did. You have some great contacts working at the event, so it actually came like it was hard work, but it was kind of fortunate that we could actually do it, because it's not just something you do. You need to know people who know people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it was actually quite a cool event. There was a good amount of audience. We hope to always get more people next time, but it was really cool, and people seem to have a good time. I even learned about some people and some music that I hadn't heard about before that I've actually come home and added to my playlist and stuff like that because they were pretty freaking badass, and I didn't even know they were playing.
Speaking of
around,
like an audience, like we sold more tickets than I could have hoped for a first time event.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for showing up, and we really appreciate all the support, and especially for showing that the scene is not dead.
Exactly.
So,
the fact we could do it and it didn't cost a lot of money, and it actually, and we're actually doing it again. I'm not saying
the submission for Metalvation 2025 is now open.
Yeah.
You can go to beneaththemusicdk.com, read all about it, and submit your music if you want to have the chance to play at one of the biggest venues here in Denmark in front of a live audience, get interviewed by probably us, one of us perhaps. Because you're probably playing guitar at some point.
Probably. I'm just sitting here thinking, is there any other way to play for an audience than them being alive?
Yeah.
Can you play for dead people?
We can play for a Twitch audience sometimes.
That would be metal as hell. Like just getting a lot of witches and people and stuff who can talk with the dead, and that just like take a metal concert in a graveyard just for dead people. Just have a lot of people like with Ouija boards.
Welcome to Dead Fest.
That is metal as hell.
Dead Fest. Bands and Metalvation. We had the honor of hosting Shred.
Yeah.
Frekvent. You were a big fan of Frekvent. I remember that. It's been sticking with you this whole year.
Has.
And we had Nothing Beyond the Moon.
They were badass as well.
Egel. It was probably one of their first shows, I think.
That was the most hardest thing going on that day. So that was awesome.
Like when they entered the stage and started playing, I was like, I'm scared.
I was up backstage and I went down to see them, and I just see the lead singer just going, ooh, and then there's just everything just went all to hell. It was amazing.
His vocals are phenomenal.
He is so cool. It's actually our drummer. He also has his own band. He can do the craziest things with his voice.
That's the funny thing. Like he started playing drums for us.
Yeah.
And when we talked about like starting up Metalvation, he was like, I play in a band. I sing in one. And I'm like, you what? You what? He showed it. And I was like, you can do that as well?
Yeah, he's a great drummer. He's an even better singer. I don't know what's going on. It's so cool.
I don't know if that's a diss or a compliment.
That's a compliment. He's a badass drummer. But yeah, definitely Egel. They're so cool. So that was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
Had no idea what was going on half the time, but it was awesome.
And the final act were, of course, me.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, because you can't have a The Juice music show without us on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gonna happen.
Nope. I actually only had to play one time that day.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You usually play guitar for so many. I know. You're probably playing guitar for half of my own client list.
Yeah, I do get a little
insane.
twitch in my eye every time it's like hit beneath the music showcase.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, because I'm doing something for almost everyone, and those that I'm not actually doing anything for, they often end up asking me if I want to do something for them. So me and Marcel were just on stage throughout the whole thing.
Here's the tough questions.
Ooh.
Because I'm gonna ask you a few questions now regarding all these artists that you. I'm guessing you remember the shows a little bit. I know it's far away now.
Sure.
I know it's 6 months away.
There's a couple of people I know who are watching this right now. They are scream laughing right now.
Yes. Do I remember watching any of this?
I just had a conversation with someone about my very bad memory. So this is,
But now I'm like tweaking all the clockworks in your head because we need to talk about these shows. From a objective standpoint, what do you think could have been done better from these artists?
So I can't be objective about that because it's a lot of these things are they're gonna be subjective. That's just how it is. There's no way that I can say that I am the sole authority on anything music or performance. So let's just get the objective part. Yeah, let's just get the objective part.
Performance police.
To hell with that, because I'm not gonna be objective. I'm gonna be subjective.
Yes.
Okay. What could they do better? So there were definitely a couple of bands who I felt had a better stage presence. Or maybe it was more like a couple of member of bands who definitely had a better stage presence than other. And sometimes that whole thing of being like a unified organism on stage where everything is like, not that it has to be coordinated, but it's the same kind of energy that everybody goes on stage with. Not everybody does that, and it's sometimes very obvious. I think people who play music have seen the memes where the bassist is always the kind of guy who stands, over in a corner and looks bored and doesn't do anything or weird, whatever. Those kinds of things, right? And
Those people exist.
Yeah, and the singer is just going crazy, and then we have some guitar player stripping or some like that. Like, it's such a very weird thing sometimes happening. And when you do that, and half the band is kind of like being forgotten, and there's someone going crazy over here, it kind of sends a little weird signal. So I think some of the bands could maybe think a little bit about stage performance, and not just in we need to like have more fun, but also just having some kind of act, doing some kind of, it sounds so cringe to say, but some kind of dance or some kind of like thing happening that is fun to look at.
Yeah, do a gimmick.
Yeah, that's exactly.
The gimmick. The gimmick was missing, kind of.
Yeah, there is a fine line between having a set who is so planned out that it's just borderline boring to look at, and then something that is just not even remotely thought about, that is just random and chaotic. So there's like a fine line you can walk.
Yeah. One of the easiest gimmicks to pull on stage is, from a visual standpoint, you want to look like you're in the same band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the first gimmick. That should just be industry standard at this point.
Clothing wise, there's a lot of things you can do there, and not that it's difficult because like saying that metal bands shouldn't wear black it's kind of like stupid, but also please don't wear black all the time. There's just a lot of things missing when everything becomes that dark all the time.
Yeah,
and I think
at least have a different color to contrast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So another thing that was actually kind of what I really enjoyed about Frequent, their bassist, who's actually also the bassist in Nothing Beyond the Moon. He had such a stage presence. I was really, really surprised.
He owned that show.
He owned that shite. And he was playing bass solos. He was just up front in your face. When it was his time to shine, he was shining. Mm-hmm. That was absolutely amazing. And he didn't go like, it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like some weird kind of, it's my turn to flex or anything. Everything was just really planned out. His solos were great. And he just had that, it's my turn to be a rock and roll star right now, and I'm going to own the stage. So we knew, and that was kind of like the beautiful thing, because when it was his turn, everybody knew you're supposed to look at him right now. He was just oozing, it's my turn now. And when it wasn't his turn...
He's oozing star power.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so important, because when you have different jobs to do during a set, it's important that the audience know where to actually look. Like, where's the action right now? Because that's also a thing. Like if everybody's just going crazy all the time, that also becomes like a bit like, where's the audience supposed to be looking?
That's again one of the easiest gimmicks ever. Like if there's a guitar solo, the guy who is doing the solo, he's front and center. And everyone else takes a step back, and instead of looking at the audience or waving your hands or doing you're just standing still, kind of small dancing a little bit, and look at the guy who is doing the solo. Exactly. Because everyone's attention goes to where they are looking at.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where if you're seeing a person in the middle of the street standing looking up, soon another person will be standing there looking up. Yeah, exactly. We've seen that countless times. It's the same psychology.
Yeah. So generally, I think Frequent did a really good job at like telling a story just with body language, where you're supposed to look where's the action happening right now, and stuff like that. And the lead singer was just doing a great job. He was a little locked in front of his microphone. He had a microphone on a stand and was playing some guitar also, but it kind of worked for them. It was a small stage. There wasn't room for everybody to just around. So like their whole thing was actually doing quite nice. I think Shred did a lot of good things with their performance as well. They have a lead singer who doesn't play any instruments, and he also makes sure to actually use the stage when he has it and when it's his turn. They have quite a few musicians, and it's very obvious that they know where their spot on the stage are.
They are very routine in that. It kind of shines.
Yeah.
like you see that immediately, and one of the things that I'm still missing from, especially those guys, is that audience communication. Like include the audience somehow.
Yeah.
Like it can be easy. Like it's a gimmick thing. When I say "ayo," you're gonna say "oh," whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of those things. Like it could be something as easy as that, especially with rock and roll. Like they're playing
Totally true.
original rock and roll here, and their new album is doing so well.
Exactly, because the thing about Shred exactly is that their songs are so. I think it's catchy. It's very classic rock and roll, and I love their music. God of Fire.
Oh my god! Yes.
Amazing song. And you're absolutely right. There's so many, but like I know their songs, and I know the audience probably didn't know as many of their songs. Perhaps I don't know. But I definitely felt like, yeah, if they had like hold a microphone out to me or had some gimmick and tried to make me sing along, I would scream like crazy.
Like you'd be a little girl, so
Yeah,
like fangirl, like,
I would go totally fanboy all over them with that kind of stuff. Because absolutely, their music is like high paced, catchy stuff, amazing vocals.
you guys should
Stefan
definitely
is
check them
really
out.
just nailing those kind of things. So
Yeah.
definitely they could include their audience with no problem and make people go mental to that.
I think it would be easy for them to do those gimmicks
Absolutely.
because they're so routine, and their genre of music, especially that type of rock and roll, just it's in its DNA to do such things.
Yeah, exactly. Their guitarist is also just such a badass.
Which
Like,
one?
Yeah, both of them actually. Both
Which
of them.
one?
Yeah, both.
Like,
That's
damn.
true. That's true. Both of them. Both of them. Yeah, and they do solos. Both of them also, I believe. They've had some stuff like that. Yeah, they just have so many good.
It's
good
like one of those
qualities.
bands where one is doing some cool shit and like, okay, that's the cool one, and immediately as you have that thought, the other one does something even cooler, and you're like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Actually, I think they are one of those. They didn't use backing tracks at any of their things, which I actually.
No,
I think they have a click track in their ear.
I actually think that I was the only one doing that.
Yeah, there's absolutely. I love using click tracks. It has its own. Like you need to be actually quite skilled at doing stuff like that, but it does help a lot on stage, especially if you can't hear everything properly.
It's like it's lifting the whole, like the sound spectrum that's going on. Like
Yeah,
the whole audio experience just gets bigger.
to some extent, yeah. But I do think one of the downsides at using backing tracks and actually click tracks is that everything can become a little bit too clean, too sterile to some extent.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can.
Yeah.
And it's always like a pro and a con, because if you use backing tracks and click tracks, you can make amazingly big choreography kind of stuff that's just so much easier because everybody knows all the time where they are. So you need to, of course, practice that. But you can freaking just hook it up to freaking fireworks in that way, right? But sometimes it can become a little too sterile. And one of the things that I really enjoy about Shred and Nothing Beyond the Moon and Frequent is that I don't think they actually use a lot of that, and it also becomes a little that music just becomes more personal and
Way more
they're
organic.
more in tune with each other.
A lot, very organic.
Yeah,
Like,
very organic, and it's just amazing how greatly skilled they actually are. For people who use different musicians from time to time, it can be quite an issue because you don't really get to know each other that way, and that's where backing tracks and click tracks becomes like a godsend. You can make amazing things and amazing collaborations, even on stage, like quickly.
In my case, like because that I'm using backing tracks as much as I do, it gets kind of difficult to improvise or do spontaneous stuff.
Exactly.
Not that it has to happen.
No.
But you plan the entire show from home.
Yeah.
You know exactly how the show will start and how it will end, and what kind of expression you want from start to finish.
Yeah. And you can get a much fuller and fatter sound, I guess.
Oh,
it's just so amazing to do it like that.
Like
and
we are 3 people on stage, and it sounds way bigger than it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What it actually is. But some people might call it cheating.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
If it's great music and a great show, then it's not cheating. There's
I
no
cut
such
the
thing as
expenses.
cheating. And The thing is, you gotta remember, we live far away from each other.
Yeah, we
can't
do.
just meet that easily and just
No.
practice these things, and that's where these things become like amazing and
Yeah.
to use. But I must admit that when it comes to Shred, Nothing Beyond the Moon, and Frequent, that organic sound, that organic way they exist on stage, amazing. Love to see it, especially with these more classical rock and roll kind of thing
Yeah.
they're doing. It definitely was very obvious that they are greatly in tune with each other.
And when Egil just, whenever they hit a string, your face melts.
Yeah.
Because it's the music is so dirty. Like
Everything was so detuned. It's like bass strings on the guitar and freaking like bridge wiring on the bass, and it was just awesome.
and whenever he starts to sing, you're like, I'm scared.
But it was just so cool. It was like I'm not that much into like death metal, but this was actually some metal I
This is
really
one.
enjoyed.
This is definitely, and it's without. Of course, I know the guy singing.
Yeah,
very
we
well.
We do.
But
We're a little biased.
we're a little biased here, but I gotta admit, from seeing as an upcoming death metal act, I think it's one of the better ones to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Denmark. Yeah, they are just that metal. They're one of the best upcoming right now, in my opinion. Because they're great live. They make some great music, and they haven't actually anything out yet.
But they're working on an album.
They're working on it, and
it's coming soon.
and it is in English, so everybody should be able to.
So enjoy it.
Yeah, just remember the Egel. The first letter is that weird Danish one.
Yeah, and what does it even translate to? Disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting.
It translates to disgusting.
Nasty. It
Nasty.
can also be nasty. We have like one word for just like 300 English words.
Yeah,
It's
Egel.
ugly. Egel.
Everything
It's
nasty
disgusting
and disgusting.
Egel. Nasty. Egel.
Metalvation 2024 wrapped up. I think that was a great start for a new event. It's a new form of showcase.
Yep. Great bands. Everybody did great.
Exactly. And remember that submissions for 2025 is now open. And of course, we will document everything that's going on there. And it'll take place in Odense at Musikhuset Posten once again in June. I think it's in June.
It's gonna be in June, right?
I think it's June.
You're gonna get, if you're submitting your stuff, you're gonna get a mail with like backlining.
Yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
There's always a team behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully not just the two of us.
No, there's a team behind this. Luckily, I'm not alone this time.
So I hope there's a lot of bands who wants to like throw in an application to play.
There's actually been several applications already.
Cool. Also, if you're not from Denmark, I'm assuming it's okay to throw in an application.
Oh,
like
it definitely is.
If you can
Definitely
afford the trip, of course. But if you're from, I don't know, Germany, Sweden, or Norway, whatever, like, give it a shot. Like, we'd love to meet you.
Even if you're from the United States, just throw in your application, and if you get picked, you get picked.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations. And it's not just an audience, it's not just us, but it's also gatekeepers in Denmark within that genre interest that will be there. They will probably not make their presence known because of, well, we had bad experiences with that in the past. See you guys at Metalvation 2025.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.